I have been playing Escape from Tarkov on and off since around 2016. Always as a casual, but still enjoyed my time with it, though lately I've been playing the forbidden version. I find the extraction shooter genre to be one of the greatest adrenaline-pumping experiences out there. The nerves that come with the knowledge of, if I screw up just one firefight, everything will have been for nothing. The sheer high of extracting with a backpack full of high-value loot and quest items is second to none. Wow, what a unique opinion! Yeah, I know, I'm cool like that. But somehow, after a decade of playing Tarkov, it's gotten a little stale. Sure, the single-player Tarkov Forbidden version spiced things up for a while. Seriously, the game gets so much better, it's actually insane. But that too eventually got a bit stale. So I had a look around to see what other extraction shooters are available. I tried the Delta Force extraction mode, but didn't like it. It's a bit half-baked and feels tacked on. I had a shot at Dark and Darker, but it's not exactly a shooter, is it? Not what I was looking for. Grey Zone Warfare looked promising, but I'm not about to hop from one early access game to another, especially for $40. Despite the 1.0 release, Tarkov should still be considered to be in early access. Half the shit they promised is still not in the game. Marathon looks cool, but it's not out yet, and neither was Arc Raiders at this time. And then I found it. Possibly the worst video game title I had ever seen. Arena Breakout Infinite. Ignoring the average Chinese mobile game title, ABI is a military extraction shooter that leans more towards Call of Duty on a scale from COD to Arma, and it's free to play. Foreshadowing is you got the usual armor and headset gear system, limbs with separate health bars, hunger, thirst, weight, different ammo types and stats, yada yada. A gunsmith nearly identical to Tarkov's, where the developers put up example builds and builds from various streamers. The overall gameplay loop is identical to Tarkov as well. Yeah, I will be comparing this game to Tarkov a lot. You play some kind of military operative in the fictional region of Kimona, fighting over territory against various other military groups, blah blah blah, who cares? We're here fighting for one thing: money. Also known as Cohen. Accept some mission, equip appropriate gear, enter a raid, complete the objectives, extract, sell off whatever loot we found, or upgrade your hideout. Your hideout is the main progression path of the game, and works as a glorified trophy room where you can show off some cosmetics you've collected, rare loot, dog tags from other players, patches, among other things. You can also craft ammunition, upgrade your storage, gain passive bonuses, and more. So then, what does a raid look like? First, we gotta select one of the 4 different game modes. This menu was changed in Season 4, it's effectively the same, just a different layout. These affect how good the loot will be, what maps you can play, and what gear you can expect other players to have because of the equipment value requirement. Which prevents you from queuing into the Timmy's First Adventure game mode while wielding the BFG 9000. But it only counts equipped items, so you can bring a fuck-off size magazine with top-tier ammo as long as it's not in your gun. Fortunately, they stop you from doing the same with armor and weapons, so it's not completely busted. You can also play as a scout undercover, where you spawn with random gear and sometimes loot so you don't have to worry about losing your gear. Once you have picked a game mode and selected a map, you can select a few options on the side, whether you want to team up with others or not, for example. Double check to make sure your kit is up to snuff, and then we're off. Matchmaking tends to be rather quick, usually only taking a minute or 2 to get into the game. Now that we're in, let's have a look at the map, which shows a few predetermined loot spawns, as well as ourselves, teammates, and quest objectives. And what's this? It shows where to extract? And the special requirements, if there are any? Wow, this is almost a little too crazy. Seriously, what even are Tarkov's maps? For a free-to-play title, this game looks fantastic and runs buttery smooth. Sure, I have a relatively beefy computer and I'm using DLSS balanced mode, but I'm getting nearly double the frame rate compared to Tarkov, in which I also use DLSS balanced. And it doesn't look as good graphically, despite the higher system requirements. That could be because it's made with... Wow. I'm not used to talking so much. Could be because it's made with Unity while ABI runs on Unreal Engine 4. But I'm not a game developer, so I'm just guessing. And the sound design. Good lord, these guns are fantastic. And there are no random volume spike glitches. Back to the raid, my teammates mark where they want to go, so I follow suit. Take out some AI, open a couple of boxes, but there isn't much of value. I hear 2 other players off in the distance and take them out. Turned out to be 2 little Timmies without anything of value on them. Though this one has some decent bullets, I'll yoink those. Item rarities come in the standard color coding, where worst to best is white, blue, purple, orange, and red. Reds are worth substantially more than other tiers, and their only use as far as I'm aware is to sit and look pretty in your hideout. Unfortunately, there's no insurance system in this game, so I can't just grab their stuff and toss it somewhere so they can get their gear back in the mail. I say unfortunately, but a system like that would be completely unnecessary in this game. You'll see why. We make our way to the villa, one of the more popular hotspots on this map, and one of my teammates gets taken out by another player. I hunt down the killer, take him out, grab some of his loot, and then move back to my teammate's corpse. The little icons on some of the items mean that if you extract with them in your inventory, they will be sent back to their owner. So in a way, your teammates are your insurance, which is a pretty cool mechanic. My other teammate pissed their pants immediately as the first one was killed and fled the area. So I guess we're done here then. I move on to the nearby extraction point, which requires 2 dog tags, wait out the timer and get shown some quick stats telling me I had a perfect raid. Every raid you extract from is called a perfect raid. There are no grades other than perfect and failed. I see now during editing that there are a few fast extractions in there as well. If you still have teammates alive after extracting, you can spectate them to see what they're doing and even have a look at their inventory. Looks like he's grabbing the rest of the items I left behind to give back to our fallen teammates. Good on him. If you instead get taken out, you can choose to spectate or have a look at the kill cam. The kill cam isn't great, there are a lot of janky interpolated movement, but it's something. Gives you an idea of how you got killed. I'll take it over no kill cam. Moving on to the results screen, there are some pop-ups saying we made progress or completed mission objectives, and then a neat little map showing where we went and some highlights of kills and valuable loot. We then get shown our EXP gain and rank up progress, which I'm still not quite sure what it does aside from giving you some rewards. It certainly doesn't prevent you from matching with lower ranked players. Rest in peace, Omega Strafe and Neon Tap. Followed by a screen showing the full squad, our stats and current situation, whether someone failed to extract, succeeded to, or if they have yet to extract. Back in the main menu, I tend to go over my loot to see what's worth keeping, such as guns and bullets, and what to sell off. I then look through what's worth putting up on the market for other players to buy, and what is worth taking the smaller profit on by selling to a vendor, since the amount of items you can have listed on the market is limited. I then turn in whatever missions I may have completed, grab new ones, and go again. This is the general gameplay loop you will be going through while playing this game. ABI has seasons which come out every 3 months or so, adding new content, fixes, quality of life changes, and more. I was under the assumption that with the start of a new season, you'd have to start over mostly from scratch, keeping only vanity stuff and hideout upgrades, but that's apparently not the case. I do think this game could benefit from having wipes each season, but I guess people don't want their hard-earned coin and guns to disappear. So you set your own goals, like completing all of the missions, seasonal objectives, finishing your hideout, completing the battle pass, or the other battle pass, or the other battle pass. Yeah, so this is originally a Chinese mobile game. Developed by Tencent Gamescube Studio and published by Level Infinite according to Wikipedia, Arena Breakout is available for Android and iOS, and it is not a great experience. The main menu and its submenus sure feel like a mobile game. Navigating your inventory and moving items around is incredibly janky. Stackable items don't stack automatically when you move them from your character to your storage. Instead, you gotta tap one stack, then the stack you want to combine with, and then this little button down here. Lots of pop-ups for skins and events, got that thing Supercell does, and I'm sure plenty of others, where you tap the loot box to upgrade it. I honestly have no idea why it's even a thing. Do people like it? Why? The gunsmith is here and it works a lot better than I had expected. The UI is completely different to make more sense for a small touchscreen. I managed to make this thing neat. Anyways, let's grab some missions and hop into a raid.
Sell loot for coin or exchange it for supplies.
Coin? It's pronounced coin? Get out of here with that, I refuse. Loading into a raid, you get this little cutscene of your character, which actually shows off your equipped gear. You get one when extracting as well, it's pretty cool. But oh boy, look at this UI. There are so many buttons on screen, and I keep accidentally touching the shoot buttons when I try to walk or look around. There is an option for gyro controls while aiming down sights at least. There's even a kill cam. Why doesn't Tarkov have a kill cam if even a mobile game can have it? The general layout of the maps appear to be the same. I can't speak for all maps, but the two I played were largely the same with a few minor changes here and there, while other areas were changed completely. Many sightlines have been blocked off, most likely so your phone doesn't need to render as much of the map. Surprisingly, there's an actual animation for refilling magazines, unlike on PC. They added one in Season 4, I recorded most of this during Season 3. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend playing it on mobile. Unless you emulate it, I suppose, but then why aren't you just playing the PC version, which the devs call a PC emulator anyways? Okay. But here comes the reason I wanted to make this video in the first place, and Arena Breakout being a mobile game first is entirely to blame for it. I needed somewhere to rant about just how absurd the monetization is in this game. They use the typical predatory mobile game tactics where they attempt to confuse you with layers upon layers of currencies, battle passes, gifts, rewards, all in their own little menu to make it as difficult as possible to keep track of everything. There is only one base currency, and I am not going to stop pronouncing it as Coin. This is the only currency you really need, since it's the only way to buy weapons, armor, hideout upgrade materials if you can't be arsed looking for them in a raid, etc. But on top of that, we have two premium currencies called bonds and coins. Bonds come in a bunch of inconvenient sizes, while coins are not currently available for purchase, but most likely will be. They are both effectively the same, but one is chosen seemingly arbitrarily in the cash shop, while bonds are the primary currency for purchasing gacha currencies. There's a varying amount of gacha banners with skins and other cosmetics. Each banner has its own currency, and the price for each pull increases with every attempt. Each pull removes whichever item you got from the prize pool, which is at least something. But if you want everything from the banner, or just the most interesting item, which is always the most rare, it will require 550 pull currency, which costs 8,250 bonds, which, of course, you cannot buy outright. You either buy 10,000 bonds for 86 euros, or the packs of 5,000, 2,500 and 1,000 for a total of 73 euros, which will leave you with 250 bonds to spare. It is outright impossible to buy the exact amount of bonds needed since no pack has 50 in it. With the start of Season 4, there was yet another gacha added from which you can pull currencies to buy certain cosmetics with. We also have two tiers of elite privileges, with basic giving you some market benefits and a 2x2 secure container. They give you a lot of trial cards for this tier. During my time playing, I've had an active basic elite status for the entirety of it without spending any money. The premium elite privileges give you even more market benefits, an even bigger secure container, bigger storage, and a skin which they highlight is time limited. Then we have the three tiers of battle pass: free, advanced, and premium. There is also a varying amount of events with mini battle passes with a free and sometimes a premium version. During Season 3 there was a pet charm gacha with its own currency, and now in Season 4 there is the bountiful fortune gacha. Now both of these were actually free, and I cannot find a way to purchase this currency, but it's just part of the scheme to confuse you with free cosmetics and more currencies to keep track of. In addition to all this, there are what I would call pseudo-currencies, such as arena passes which let you enter raids for free, which normally cost coin to enter, elite trial cards, and there are basic, advanced and premium quick kit vouchers for free gear sets. Then there's also the activity missions, which give you activity points you can spend in the point store. Not to be confused with the bond store, where you can spend bonds and coin on various skins and bundles. All bundles seem to come with free gifts, which are definitely not free or gifts. They're part of the bundle and you are paying for them. When I first started playing, they had a collaboration event with Cyberpunk 2077, offering some cool Trauma Team cosmetics. During raids you could find cards with 3 different levels of insurance. These didn't do anything on their own, but if you collected enough of them you could redeem them. Not for anything Trauma Team related. No, you get Johnny Silverhand's iconic Melorian skin for the Deagle, which is neat, but I don't see the correlation. If you reach player level 30, however, the level cap, you would get a whopping 10 pull currency for that Trauma Team banner. This is how I found out that the price increases for each pull, which is stated in the info tab, to be clear. Naturally, I didn't get anything I actually wanted, and that is when pretty much all motivation to play the game completely disappeared. Because I knew that if I wanted to actually get anything cool, I would have to fork over a lot of money. And with how predatory this game clearly is, that's just not going to happen, since I don't want to support that kind of business practice. I understand that they need to earn money on this game somehow, with it being free to play yet very well made. Warframe has pretty much the same type of monetization, but they don't shove it in your face unless you go to the in-game market. And there's only one basic currency and one premium currency in Warframe. I have no idea how much money I've spent on Warframe over the years. It's definitely a lot, and I am going to continue giving Digital Extremes my money for their work. I cannot say the same for ABI. Despite it being a good game, and I do enjoy playing it a lot, there is not much motivating me to actually play it. You get absolutely bombarded with coin, rare items you can sell for even more coin, weapons, armor, meds, ammo. You don't actually have to work for anything. My gear fear disappeared after only a couple of raids when I started out, because I realized even if I lose all of my stuff, I can just grab a new set for free, or reassemble my gun via the gunsmith with no worry about the cost. Hell, when I first logged in at the start of Season 4, I had gained 3 million coin before even setting foot into a raid. I made a second account just to double check the new player experience, as I remember finding a red item within my first few raids. Maybe I was just very lucky. Speedrunning the scripted tutorial mission, get a tutorial on the storage,
Sell this stuff to your contacts or on the market, then use the coin to buy supplies and improve your odds next time.
oh hey, it says coin here as well, huh? And then hopping into tutorial raid where I'm not entirely sure if the other operatives are real players or not. And I find not one, not two, but 3 orange items. Sure, they're not red, but I don't even have this kind of luck on my main account. This also mirrors my original new player experience, where I started off finding lots of rare items before it slowly became less and less common. I take out what may or may not be some other players, extracting with an estimated 670,000 coin worth of loot, put everything up on the market, come back the next day, and now I have another million coin to my name. Run another raid and almost immediately find another orange, some lesser valuables, and extract with an estimated 270,000 worth of loot. Next raid I'm less lucky, not finding much of anything, though I do find these bullets, which are worth a fair bit. Heading towards an extract, I peek into this cabin and, well, there it is, another orange. Run along and find some more valuable bullets before extracting with over 400,000 in estimated loot. I do a scav run for some footage and find yet another one of these cotton rolls. Immediately heading towards extraction, I find what looks to be a red item sitting out in the open, but I can't fit it into the tiny bag I spawned with. So I look around for a bigger bag, find one, return to pick it up, and it's unfortunately just an orange, but a very valuable one. Booking it to the extract, I leave with nearly another 400,000, sell everything off, and now I have over 5 million coin. On my main account, I don't even bother grabbing anything less than orange rarity loot because it's just not worth the hassle. The game will shower me with gear anyways, which is all coin is good for aside from playing around with the gunsmith. The most expensive gun I could put together without duplicates and without a thermal sight, by picking the most expensive parts instead of based on stats, was just shy of 1 million. You can, however, build guns that are nearly identical stat-wise within the 400 to 600,000 range, which, as I've shown, can easily be earned in 1 or 2 raids. Which brings us back to what I said in the beginning. The nerves that come with the knowledge of if I screw up just one firefight, everything will have been for nothing. And that feeling is just not there. My gear holds no value as it can easily be replaced for free. I want to play this game, I want to enjoy it. But what is the point when everything gets handed to you on a silver platter before you've even entered a raid? Tarkov may be a janky piece of shit game created by a questionable team from Russia, but at least that game doesn't treat me like a toddler who can't go 5 minutes without some flashy rewards popping up over the screen. I don't know how many times I had to re-record and re-edit this video because they just keep shitting out more and more things for you to click on in the menus. I even forgot to mention time-limited bonds. Yeah, they're handing out free bonds, but they have an expiration date, so you better use all of it or risk missing out. I hope Marathon is good.